Do you struggle to get your breath? Do you notice that it's hard for your rib cage, your breathing area to expand? Do you notice that you're mostly breathing upper chest? Do you notice you have a tendency or an inability to get a full breath all the time? A lot of these things are signs that you have a breathing pattern disorder, which is not really, it sounds bad, but it's not really a bad thing. It's just a bad habit. And bad habits can be changed. And once we change our bad habit, once we can shift into a more healthy breathing pattern, some of those things that you're noticing through the day, your inability to get a full breath, your fast breathing, maybe you're sighing, things like you're always waking up tired, you're waking up with a dry mouth, you're needing to go to the toilet when you sleep, all these type of things are clear indicators that our breathing pattern is a little bit off. Now, I've got a course coming up that is going to run through the basis of healthy breathing and why it is so important to set our nervous system. Because our breathing actually sets whether we're in parasympathetic or sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight or rest and digest. And if your breathing pattern has spiraled into this point where you're locked in fight and flight, there's no way for you to really heal in a deeply profound manner. There's no way for you really to rest in a deeply profound manner. Hence, you're running at such a high RPM. Now, if we use some sort of analogy like our body is a car, right? And you're not your body. You know you're not your body, but your body is your vehicle. And when you're running your vehicle at maximum RPM, which is what you're doing when you're in a breathing pattern that doesn't suit a rest and digest situation, running your vehicle at 7,000 RPM all the time puts you just below panic state, right? Just below panic state. And so then the slightest thing happens and it's like, bam, you're straight above panic state and you're into out of control. What if we could drop the RPM of our vehicle down to say 3,000 RPM? So then when something goes wrong, which it will because it is life, you'll just jump up to just here. You won't go into panic state. That's what this course is about. It's teaching you the patterns of healthy breathing, how you can get control of your nervous system, how you can calm your nervous system. But of course, it's not all about breath, right? But breath's where we start. The breath and the mind move as one. And sometimes your breathing pattern has been caused by an overactive mind, a mind that just can't stop, okay? But because they move as one, if we go to the mind and just tell the mind to calm down or settle down, it's not really going to work. It's possible for that to work, but it's literally the hardest possible way to do it. So what we do instead, and what all the wisdom traditions tell us to do, is we come to our breath first, because the breath and mind move as one. That overthinking situation can be creating that breathing pattern disorder, right? But also the breathing pattern disorder can be causing the overthinking situation. So then you're spiraling down. You're spiraling down into this anxiety, depression, unrested state. Also that the fact that you can't get that cool, calm breath, you can't get that breathing pattern that stimulates deep, restful sleep. You're also now operating in a non-rested state, so the spiral just keeps going down. And all we want to do in this course is alleviate the downward spiral, stop it where it is, and begin the upward spiral. It's not like you're just going to jump into thriving, but you're going to spiral up. And we spiral up by just shifting the habits. And that's what we'll run over on this weekend intensive. We'll run into what are the habits, the small habits that I can create that'll spiral my nervous system up into rest and digest so I get full rested sleep. So I'm not running at 7,000 RPM all the time. So I can drop my vehicle down to 3,000 RPM so I'm not just below panic, right? And also, how do I calm my mind down? How do I allow my mind to just settle and go into this calm state, which is the final thing. The final thing. Generally, we do everything backwards. We work on the mind first. Oh, like my mind's out of control. I need to fix that. Well, you do, but not first, because there's so many other factors that are spiraling into it. This lack of sleep and this unhealthy breathing pattern is feeding that. And it's almost impossible to shift. But it's very workable to shift the way you breathe. It's very workable after your breath shift to slowly but surely um, get your sleep patterns correct. Once those two things are right, then we can look at the mind. And that's what this weekend intensive back to breath will do. It'll teach us healthy breathing habits. It'll give us practices to set our breathing. It'll also finish with a meditation, like a short 15-minute meditation that you'll be able to take home and do every day. And that'll be the habit that begins to turn everything around, right? And I don't want you to even think of it as meditation, because if you're already over breathing or you're disassociating on your breath, you're already thinking that meditation doesn't work for me. Meditation is this, meditation is that, right? It's not that. It is meditation, but what it really is teaching you how to breathe for 15 minutes. So you wouldn't even want to refer to it as meditation. It's a breathing practice. But what it really is a meditation practice. But all meditation starts with breathing. And the one big thing you have to understand with meditation is you don't actually do it. It just arises. And it arises when the biology, the physiology is in exactly the right state for that to occur. And that state is when we have a healthy breath and a calm body. That's what this course will take you to. So, if that sounds interesting to you, if you want more of that in your life, hit the Learn More button below.